welcome to the TwoPennyGames cast. React to the PlayStation State of Play. I hope you could see it. We'll find out after the recording is over, but I'll just have to hope. But we just saw Monster Hunter Wilds, so now it's just beginning. Seems like we might be seeing Elden Ring. We got a little bit of gameplay beforehand, and we're going to be getting a potentially Halo on the PlayStation, as well as can't remember the other Wolverine potentially coming. That's more theorizing, so we'll see if that actually ends up showing up. And I was talking about roadmap stuff for Monster Hunter Wilds, so you know, probably is going to go over my head until I get into the game.
皆様に楽しんでいただけることを心よりお待ちしております。本日の発表は以上となります。引き続きステートオブプレイをお楽しみください。
I don't know how long it's going to be, but see.
Forged to unleash vengeance. More than a weapon. It is the soul of a shinobi.
Side-scrolling beat 'em up.
No obstacle can stand in their way. Soaring where others would.
It's got a nice style. Looks colorful.
Striking with lethal precision.
Not really seeing anything particularly special so far, but it does look cool. That'd be a cool little game.
Each weapon a tool.
I feel like though if I were to play this game, I'd feel ashamed that I haven't beaten
This is the master of a shinobi.
Okay. I saw a little bit there.
The legend continues.
Shinobi. Shinobi a franchise? Makes it seem like it is. What do I know? Sonic Racing. Is that the thing that already existed? It doesn't seem like it would be. This seems new. If so, that's pretty fucking sick. Yeah. Okay, this is pretty cool looking. Damn, Phil would probably love this. It's okay. Trying to be a competitor to Mario Kart? Ballsy. But it can't be done. Yeah, I wonder how it's going to differentiate itself from Mario Kart besides being Sonic. I mean, it looks like it's got its own. Okay. That's pretty fucking. They might play around with that stuff. Sonic Racing World. We at the TwoPennyGames cast do a fantasy critic. So if this is new, I'm assuming one of our co-hosts, Phil, is going to be vying for that. That looks pretty good.
Break free.
Be anything.
Become unbound from the laws that govern reality. To turn the gears of time once again.
An apocalypse looms over parallel
Is this
worlds
Persona?
as their fates begin to intertwine.
It's definitely Persona. I'm into it.
Battle to alter
This is
destiny
Megami Tensei.
begins.
Something new.
Embark
No,
on a
it was
journey
Atlas.
alongside gods, heroes, and monsters of bygone eras. The anomalies, known as Digimon.
Saw those claws and I was like, well, seems familiar. Okay. I feel like as someone who's not into Digimons, they haven't really capitalized off it that much in terms of quality games. I might be wrong about that, but you know, if they've had that issue in the past, here you go. Get another chance. There's probably something good out there related to a Digimon game. But it always seems like it's kind of just... You really have to know what Digimons is and like Digimons to watch that kind of stuff.
大家好，我是《输入之魂》的创作者杨斌。从一名独立开发者到今天与 PlayStation 携手，这一路走来已历经10年。《输入之魂》结合了流畅爽快的战斗体验与丰富多样的世界设计，玩家将在各具风格的场景中探索，面对充满个性的敌人。 同时与有趣的角色互动，逐步揭开精彩的故事。接下来，我非常激动地向大家展示全新的游戏内容，并正式确认游戏的发布日期。
Display capture is only visible on recording, and I'm not gonna go mess around with the sources.
I keep
Thought I had
having
it right.
the same dream. A horrible dream. Where monsters invade our world. A powerful being falls from the sky. And when it seems they might vanquish the invaders, the dream ends. Is this really just a dream? My only hope lies with you.
Come, Kaiser. We will travel across worlds, leap through dimensions, together.
Seen this?
I see great power within you, a destiny waiting to be fulfilled. Let me be your vengeance. The blade in your hand.
You know, with these kinds of games, I never know how good it's actually going to be. Because it could be really great, but this could also... Doesn't seem like combat that might feel all that weighty.
You never wanted to be a hero.
That might just be a personal.
But for
Also, just the style of the monster. Like, a lot of it's not
you must
striking.
Then give me your power, Arena.
Hi everyone, I'm Sean Benson. We've got several updates today from partners around the world, starting with news from the Like a Dragon series.
I think I might be back online.
First up,
I think you should be able to see it now.
Like a Dragon, Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii arrives
We'll
on
find
PS5
out.
this Friday.
Chat will remind me.
Players could try out 2 battle styles, including Goro Majima's new Seedon style, as well as engage in naval battles at the Pirates Coliseum. Sega and Midway
just gotta go over
join
this
forces
stuff?
in
No.
Ichiban's Holiday, a new crossover DLC coming to Dave the Diver. Ichiban Kasuga and other Like a Dragon characters team up to thwart a gang of troublemakers in classic beat-em-up style, all while perfecting new recipes at Bancho Sushi. Dave the Diver Ichiban's Holiday arrives this April on PS5 and PS4. The Splitgate 2 alpha begins February 27th on PS5.
Okay.
Use portals and futuristic physics to dominate the arena, and play a new 24-player mode where 3 teams compete on a massive map.
Maybe I'll play it and actually like it this time. Might just be a personal taste from last time I played it.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Paul Heyman. I'm here to give you an exclusive first look in the future of the WWE 2K franchise. Introducing The Island. With The Island, players enter an online environment filled with WWE-themed landmarks, quests, live events, and shops with up to 50 other players at a time. The Island also offers deep customization, giving players the chance to personalize their My Superstars like never before.
That's awesome.
As the first of its kind for the franchise, the island is not just an addition.
I guess these games do money.
It's a bold step.
I don't know anybody that plays
the future. Welcome,
they seem fun.
ladies and
I won't lie.
gentlemen.
So I guess at the times I played them, way back when, I think I was on the PS3. Can't even remember which game it was. Last time I remember playing a wrestling game. Borderlands. Hopefully Phil comes back in the chat.
I'm
I'll
Randy
text him
from Gearbox. And
if he wants to come back in.
Gearbox, and you know
And that my stream might actually be working.
For you. Are you ready? It's 2025, and every day we are getting closer to the launch of Borderlands 4. Let's go!
Wake up and I'm feeling like a I wake up feeling like a brand new. I wake up feeling like a brand new. You don't wanna try me. I want you to try me. You don't wanna try
Borderlands always has had good combat, but that's not people's worry with this game. This will determine whether Borderlands is going to survive. I remember the characters. There's like the big broody guy, but that's just who I want to play. I just like those kinds of characters. So all the other ones though, they don't really look impressive at all. Not like the last character in Borderlands 1, 2, and 3 even. 3 I didn't really play. I didn't play at all.
Wake up and I'm feeling like a punk.
That's good. Nice.
So badass, so much fun.
If only I'd done that right
We
away
don't have to
and
wait long now.
not gone through that
Borderlands
process.
4 is going to break free for its special state of play this spring, focused exclusively on Borderlands 4. And we're diving deep, you guys. Join us. Borderlands 4, state of play,
is that
combat, Vault Hunters, action
Randy
skills,
Pitchford?
Exploration and discovery, everything. You're going to see more guns.
If that's
than you
him,
can
that's
count. All
gotta
on
feel
the
that
PlayStation 5.
gotta feel like it does something to me, I
Randy,
guess.
do you have anything else for us?
Yeah, it is Randy.
I do, Randy. Well, what is it? Don't hold
Something about
on,
your
Randy.
face. Untrustworthy.
You baby bird.
Go to Medieval Times recently.
For Borderlands 4. This Randy.
For those of you that don't know, there was like apparently some a hard drive that he left at a Medieval Times. This is apparently like this from internal reports. It was a lawsuit or something like that. I'd have to double check myself, but he was like the hard drive, the flash drive, had like child porn on it, and so they had to like get a deal to send it back without leaking it online or turning them in or whatnot. And it was kept on the down low. But could it be untrue? Sure. Sounds like it's probably true. There's some sick fucks out there, and he was I think there was some sexual harassment stuff going on there.
Crazy stories. But how are we supposed to get out of here if we don't start to trust
Yeah,
each other?
Haze Light Studios' new game.
Well, I kind of need yours. 2, 1.
I think it's going to be the culmination of their kind of games that they've gotten into making.
Look at all of
Excited
this.
to play it.
It's amazing. I base the story around my dad. All I can do is write this silly story.
The other one, It Takes Two, didn't do that much for me. It was fun. Had a good, interesting systems to play, and this one seems to be building upon that in a much more substantial way, with having like progression instead of just giving you effectively a bunch of mini games to go through the entire game, interacting with. So, not that that's bad, but this seems a lot more, much of an interesting story, as well as also, like I said, building on itself and having progression, while still having these cool little systems that they seem to be playing around with, going from the future to fantasy type fictional setting. It's called split fiction because it's about fiction and writing and pretty clever, right? This might have been shown at some point and I forgot about it.
Status report. Looks like it penetrated through there. We need to inspect the hull damage first.
Doesn't look too bad.
Doesn't look too good either.
Alien life form on an asteroid. Calling it.
You feeling all right?
My body's going one way and my mind's going another.
What is that? This ship is infected with an alien organism.
From an asteroid.
So real sometimes.
Never forget why you started. Lord have mercy.
It'd be really annoying if they just hired a bunch of like famous actors
Do you think
roles.
Williams knows more about this substance than he's letting on? We can't take any chances with him.
It can manipulate its physical appearance. It's
Doesn't seem like
changing
it.
its cellular structure. It's replicating the human form. It's replacing us.
Okay, that looks cool.
I know this will be difficult to hear, but if you're still out there, you deserve the truth.
That does seem very interesting. Of course, you gotta like their time of games, where it's kind of what do you call them now? Interactive games? I guess you could call them that. If you don't move your controller, otherwise you'll get found out.
Situation. One of our contractors, Edwin Murray, has gone missing, leaving our property abandoned in his warehouse.
Someone acted that way in real life right there.
Simple. Enter the warehouse and retrieve the technology that he was developing for us. It's a kind of prototype endoskeleton that can adapt to any
really?
costume and become any character. We suspect it may be malfunctioning, so just be aware of the slim but non-zero chance that you could sustain significant injuries while attempting to retrieve it, including but not limited to death or dismemberment. We fully expect the retrieval process to go smoothly and without incident, but just in case, we suggest you get your affairs in order before arriving. Back to work.
Okay, now that it's going this route, this seems more like something that I would actually play.
Fazbear Entertainment is not responsible for damage to property or person. Thank you for being a valued member of the Fazbear team.
This year,
Greetings from Moonhood.
We'll
We're
see how
the
that is.
creators of the Midnight Walk, cozy horror game created entirely in clay, where you will journey down a nightmarish highway riddled with terrors that want to devour
All right.
you
Already
and the
sounds good.
random creature, Hawk Boy.
Together with your little friend, you must outsmart these terrors and bring back fire to this mad world we've handcrafted for you.
So please enjoy.
I wonder
this
if I'm
short
familiar with
gameplay
this developer.
preview.
Some other.
After the end of the world, the burnt one woke from a deep slumber.
Fire? I'd almost forgotten how it felt. You're the caretaker of this little firecracker? I reckon you must be headed for Moon Mountain. Am I right?
This seems really fucking.
Close your eyes to make things clear.
Just out of respect, I'm out of play this game. It's cool when they do such interesting visuals in gaming. You know, visual fidelity in a lot of movies has become kind of bland and criticized for being dark. This one, while looking dark, it takes on a style that makes it super very cool. Midnight
Special
Walk.
thanks to Klaus
Damn.
Sadolov for that updated look at the Midnight Walk.
Oh, VR too.
Up next, a quirky new adventure from Konami.
Star Wars Paradox. I bet this looks like a game that
In
Bill or
Darwin's
Tavin, the other guys
Paradox,
at the Penny
you
Games
play as
cast,
Darwin,
would
a clever octopus who finds himself
would
dumped
play
near
for a trophy.
highly suspicious food processing center.
Trophy hunters and whatnot. Okay, this actually. Never mind. Still, they would
Use Darwin's
probably do
natural
that.
camouflage and
Looks-
inking skills to escape the facility and
Indeed.
save the world from aliens.
Okay, they kind of looked interesting.
We're excited to reveal a brand new title from Koei Tecmo Games and Omega Force. Warriors Abyss, a roguelite spin on the Warriors franchise. Descend into hell. Call on powerful allies. And experiment with tons of playstyle combinations to send the enemy hordes flying.
Those look well made. Someone would probably enjoy this type of gameplay, but the cool thing about Dynasty Warriors is you're on the field
Warriors Abyss launches on PS5
fighting
and
against
PS4
these massive amount of
later
enemies,
today.
and when you just do kind of like a roguelite element where you're just doing that, it's just not as
For whom are
interesting,
you
I think.
working? I won't forgive you. Prepare yourself!
A PS2 era classic returns
Okay.
with Onimusha 2, Samurai's Destiny.
I never played an Onimusha game.
Capcom is enhancing the original game with HD graphics and a host of quality of life features, including fine-tuned analog controls. Immerse yourself in Jubei's hard-boiled journey and fight through a world of turmoil alongside trusty allies. Onimusha 2 Samurai's Destiny comes to
Okay.
PS4 on May 23rd and will be available for pre-order later today. Looking to
I'll take that.
2026, let's check out a new trailer for Capcom's latest entry in the series, Onimusha.
Oh,
Land
we're
of
seeing.
Sword.
I've forgotten about this. Hey, color me. I wonder if the first one has a remaster. All those demons I know, right? I'm guessing the main protagonist, Yubei. Not familiar with the character. Gosh, okay. Oh yeah, wasn't the whole thing this is a prequel? So you don't need to put the... Either way, it's cool. I've never heard of this franchise before. Heck. This plus the remaster of the second one. Yeah, I think this. I heard something about this being a prequel, but I might be mixing my games up. And I'm not mixing it up with Doom. I'm talking about something else that I've heard said that. Oh. 2026. Okay, it's cool to see what we got coming with that kind of game, especially for those that never heard much about it, like me. Sick. Ah, Metal Gear Solid. There it is. We got some leaks that the release
Colonel
date.
Titan is
So,
secure in
here's the
every place.
actual
He's coming here,
showcase.
I'm sure of it.
Instead of just the release date. Ooh. We just played this and reviewed this for our game club, where we rank a bunch of games that we play in a roulette or a monthly choice type deal. So
Then they're out to kill me as well.
very timely.
What's the story between you and the boss?
She was like a mother and my master.
That just sounds like the original game.
Cobras will take care of him.
Do you hear me, Snake?
Yeah, they just use the dialogue. That's cool.
We are the sons of the boss.
I see it! The fear!
A great and terrible fury at being alive. A host of sorrows. And you are one of them.
Why'd you come back? There's nothing for you here. Go home. Go back to your boss.
To say it's a good game. Yeah, I'll say that much. For, where it might place in the game club. But
There is nothing America can do to stop us.
looking forward to this. This showing me in its full entirety has gotten me more excited. This more than any of the other stuff beforehand. Okay. $8.28. Huh. There we go. So it's August. That was September. There we go. Time we found out.
When the fury of emotions sparks the wildfire of violence.
Didn't I recognize that voice?
Illusions and exposes the fragile structure of reality.
Not as a character, at least as a voice actor.
I have 1,000 questions. Why did you come back?
I stood
Oh.
in the home I was born in.
No.
In that moment, I felt a connection.
Epsilon 11, sound off.
It looked like Resident Evil for a second, but
they're gone.
Choose your next move. Why?
Crazy if it is. It is not. Okay.
What happened here?
This is cool.
Madness and hatred and lots of it. Impossible. It's you. We must continue. We've begun to uncover.
A trippy game. Us. I might have heard of it. Maybe you're wrong. September 4th. What else? Oh, Lies of P? DLC, I'm assuming? Maybe a second game.
How can it be
It's definitely
winter
DLC.
all of a sudden?
This is a great game. I want to go back to it whenever I can.
You want to know the year? What a pleasure to meet a stalker worthy of the name. It's been far, far too long.
Oh, my forever friend. Help me to hold your hand and dance.
You're not the puppet I was expecting. Who are you?
She was looking for someone. Legendary. She stepped up only because no one else could. Too many stalkers were lost to that evil.
This game is sick, and that looks like a new weapon. All new weapon. Of course they are.
Is all that matters. Nothing else comes close, not even my life. I swear I won't be late. Not again.
Fucking Virgil. Base game required. DLC. Yes, the DLC. Badass, okay. Alright, that's sick. Maybe that'll be my excuse.
I don't know where I came from or how I was made. That's me, little again once in a lifetime.
Okay.
Doors have eyes.
We don't know where our children will put down roots.
Ah. I imagine it's a game about PTSD. Another. Yeah, I see. Okay. Those kinds of games I sometimes just randomly play, but other times.
私の最新作ドリームオブアナザーはいかがだった
Either
でし
way,
ょうか
it's very cool.
破壊なくして想像はないというテーマのもと、ドリームオブアナザーではシューティングゲームの常識を覆す体験ができます。武器で傷つけたり破壊するのではなく、抽象化している散らばった世界を具体化して想像することができるのです。本作ではポイントクラウドというテクノロジーを採用し、プレイヤーは幻想的な夢の世界へダイナミックな変化を与えることができます。今年 PS5 登場予定で、本日からウィッシュリストへの追加ができます。ありがとうございました。
Hey everyone, I'm Kristen Zatani, and I'm excited to share even more PlayStation
What
news
artistic
in
games?
today's
I wouldn't
show.
have expected. Days Gone Remastered.
Days Gone Remastered, the definitive version of Ben Studios' post-apocalyptic open-world epic, comes to PS5 with VRR support and PS5 Pro.
Yeah, I still don't know if this game is like. It's probably like middling, but
It also includes added content
seems
like
has
permadeath
cool
and
stuff and
speedrun modes,
okay.
an enhanced photo mode,
That's pretty
new
cool.
accessibility features, and
That seems
Horde
cool.
Assault, a survival arcade mode with increased horde
Mhm.
sizes that will provide a fresh way to experience Days Gone. And if you purchase Days Gone on PlayStation 4, you can upgrade to a digital version of Days Gone Remastered and get all the content and
That's funny.
features for $10. Days Gone Remastered launches on PS5 April 25th.
Good for it.
New DLC is coming to Stellar Blade
Ah,
this
letting
June.
with the DLC.
The sci-fi action game is partnering with Goddess of Victory Nike on a new boss battle, collectible dolls and stickers, plus a new outfit.
Nikki.
Both the Nike DLC
Nike.
and the PC version of Stellar Blade launch this June.
Never know how to pronounce that.
We've got some great PlayStation Plus updates today, starting with game catalog titles arriving on February 18th.
Yeah.
Star Wars Jedi Survivor, Top Spin 2K25, and launching in a game catalog, Lost Records Bloom and Rage, from the creators of Life is Strange.
People love that.
Did you girls ever see anything weird around these parts?
In this episodic adventure, players will join 4 high school girls living through the defining summer of their lives. What begins as a tale of friendship will eventually blend reality, dreams, and the unknown into a dual timeline narrative. The first episode of Lost Records Bloom and Rage arrives February 18th, with the second episode
As far as
arriving
these
in
kinds of
April.
games go, I'm waiting for the one that takes place during
We're
like
also excited to confirm 2 unique
summer,
indie
and
titles
it's
that
kind
will
of
launch
like
in the
a
game catalog later this year.
reality breaking at times.
Explore a mysterious mansion
what's
and
its name?
blueprints. A genre-bending
That type of game's the
architectural
only
adventure.
one of those. Like that type of games I usually don't play, so that's I'm gonna limit that to probably like one
Every door
every
is
so
a new
often,
decision
rather
as
than
you build
playing
out
2
a
at the same
sprawling
time. So I'll
manor
probably
with
I'll pass
45
on that
shifting rooms,
as if I actually
adding
had
layers of
PlayStation.
strategy, puzzles, and exploration. Blueprints launches day 1 into game catalog this spring. Abiotic Factor is a 6-player survival crafting game from Playstack and Deep Field Games. Stranded miles beneath the surface, you and a team of scientists must craft ingenious gear and traps to outwit your enemies and make this bizarre underground complex your new home.
Oh, that's pretty
Abiotic
cool.
Factor will be available in game catalog when it launches this summer. Now let's get a sneak peek at games coming to the PlayStation Plus Classics catalog. Coming soon are the first 3 Armored Core titles from the original PlayStation: Armored Core Project Phantasma, and Armored Core Master of Arena. Meanwhile, Patapon 3 slides its way into the Classics catalog next week.
I'm good.
No one
I don't know.
knows how
It
that
still makes it
world
worth
came
the
to
extra
be.
price you have to pay.
It devoured everything from the past. Only I was left. That was a fatal mistake.
It's the aura of the Grail pieces. I can sense it. As long as it is reforged.
My wish can be fulfilled.
But wishes come at a price.
To pursue one's wishes is to court one's doom.
Tom was what I was waiting to see. Oh, he's the 7th? Okay.
Holy Grail. Blood. This is a feast only for the king. We can't escape from your doomed fate.
Gwendolyn, this is your final warning.
My quarrel lies not with you, but I will take back everything that belongs to me. Even if the price is my soul.
Has potential.
The table is dead. It exists no more.
Combat's the only thing that's holding me back. I feel like I didn't see enough. Summoning stuff, pretty cool. Unique as well. How else do you play around with that? That's what I want to see. Oh, parkour.
How do you feel? Is something bothering you?
It's that guy who voices all the Dark Elves.
Deep down in the depths of Vulcan, you must retrieve the Architect's core.
Oh. Into a ball.
They will send everything they have to stop us.
You know I would never want to see you hurt. But the path we walk demands the extreme.
I remember you.
Run away.
Put myself some good parkour.
Yeah.
And shooting at the same time.
A bit blurry. Remember this.
DS! Showtime!
I have these gaps inside my head.
Satellite gives us a 10-minute window.
You made it. That's just leftover hardware. It's been decommissioned. What the hell is happening? All I know is that Silvercorp is a piece of my story. I'll cover you. All this time you just wanted answers about the tech in your head? Are you kidding me? This thing has ruined my life.
You have no idea who you're dealing with. After what you did, we should have left you in the desert. This is not the first time we've had a fatal error with your tech. DS, make it stop! Make it stop! I know what I have to do. This is the only way.
I'm confused what kind of game that's going to be.
Hello, I'm Leslie Benzies, director of Mind's Eye, Builder Rocket Boy's new action-adventure set in the fictional city of Red Rock, where AI and human greed collide to bring Earth to the precipice of collapse. All captured on PlayStation 5 Pro. We're now proud to share some gameplay footage with the explosive combat and high-octane driving that you can expect on PlayStation 5 later this year.
Okay.
What's going on in there?
It was an ambush. Do what you can. Do not lose her.
Strong guns.
Tires are out. Proceeding on foot.
coming to you now. The search and rescue bots. They're malfunctioning. They're attacking us.
I think he should blow everything up. This is a solution to everything. PS5 Pro.
It always comes back to this.
On actual. The hell is this?
This world. This moment. This choice. Every time the sun dies, madness reigns. Then everything begins again. But after every death, I always come back stronger.
I wonder what kind of game this is.
I know that you are here, and I will find you.
All right. How smart. Very nice. That's marquee, I get. $2026 sounds like a proper year for it. They made Returnal, so might as well do that again in a different format.
Gregory Loudon,
nice.
Creative Director at Housemarque. We
Mark.
are thrilled to announce that our latest game, Saros, is launching next year on PS5 and enhanced for PS5 Pro. Saros is the ultimate evolution of the Housemarque gameplay-first experience. It's a new single-player IP that builds on Returnal's award-winning third-person action. You play Arjun Devraj, performed by the brilliant Rahul Kohli.
That's what I thought
Arjun
it was.
is a powerful enforcer searching for answers on a hostile, shape-shifting planet haunted by an ominous eclipse. All of us at Housemarque can't wait to share more about Saros, with our first look at gameplay coming later this year. Thanks for watching.
Very cool. Well, eventually I'll play Returnal. I've been bothered to do it, so there we go. Thanks for watching. Yeah, so that was the PlayStation State of Play 2025, February 12th. That was pretty nice. You know, it had a lot of games I was not expecting. They actually conveniently have placed let me mute this real quick. Placed all the games that were quickly announced. PS5 Pro, I feel like I missed something. Did they just all of a sudden drop it? That was the first time we'd seen something on the PS5 Pro? I feel like they would have said something beforehand, but no. It would make sense they're releasing it eventually, so. More importantly, the game. So yeah, like Metal, obviously there was the big one, like Metal Gear Solid Snake Eater. You, of course, I think had Housemarque's Saros. Onimusha, I feel like is definitely going to be one of their highlights as well. Monster Hunter Wilds, everyone's already excited for that. I don't think it's going to make as much waves. Mind's Eye, I feel like, you know, it definitely looked impressive, but we'll see if it actually ends up getting eyes on it. Because it does seem like a game that... It's not that the combat looked bad at all, but it was all kind of centered around just blowing things up over and over again. So we'll see, you know, how deep those gunplay mechanics go. But Borderlands 4, I mean, I feel like everyone's also... not in the same way with Monster Hunter Wilds, where we've just constantly seen so much gameplay for it, but more in the sense you look at it and you're like, yeah, that's Borderlands. I'm trying to find where it is again, but you know, nothing really. You know, it looks like Borderlands has always had good gameplay. So ultimately, it's not exactly a The problem is everything else. Pedophiles talk aside from Randy Pitchford there. Borderlands kind of got into a formula where everyone just kind of knew what to expect from the games, and the writing wasn't up to par to entice people anymore. I mean, notoriously, Borderlands 3's writing's pretty atrocious to the point where people would sometimes mute the game just so they didn't have to hear it. So hopefully they make that more palatable and better. Gameplay, though, it kind of speaks for itself. This stuff looks cool, lots more mobility going on. We'll see if that's just a character-specific thing. It probably is. Or maybe all of them have some special type of movement, because here he is flying. But the characters kind of lacked for character design and being interesting like the past characters were. The classic cast of Borderlands 1 and 2, specifically, was... they didn't look all that appealing in that same way, but they seem like they're playing pretty well. So Borderlands 4 is going to be pretty nice. I want to go back to Onimusha, because Onimusha was... I could just go to Metal Gear Solid 4, 5. Metal Gear Solid Snake Eater Delta. I guess it's not going to be called 3 anymore. Yeah, Miyamoto Musashi. He's like I know he's a legendary swordsman in Japan, so I guess this is a prequel game, since that doesn't sound like Jubei as far as names go. So this looked really cool. It looked like it was, nice, fun, environmentally based combat. It seems like it fits with the character who seems kind of like has a goofy side, despite the fact he's in this dark universe, which seems even if I don't know anything about Onimusha, it already peaks out. Not to mention I love shit like that, badass glory kills, fighting against enemies, big giant enemies with big fucking weapons or swords, and smaller normal sized enemies with swords. That's my kind of shtick. So seeing this, I'm very impressed. Yeah, Snake Eater. Like I said, we played it, and it's a game to play. I would recommend you play the original, and then come and play this, because especially after just playing it again, they know they just need to show us what these moments are going to be like in game. I kind of wish. I recall them not doing much with gameplay though, but there was some like no, there wasn't much with gameplay yet to see how much that really feels, but people can probably get the kind of the idea they're going for. So it's nice to actually just see the narrative points come across. It's the voices sound like the exact same. I think they did extra work for it. Tavin would know if he was here, but it sounds basically like the original game does. So just all these new updated animations is pretty cool. And whatever new fun gameplay features this game will have, I'm easily looking forward to that. It's probably one of the best games of the year. At least it's off the back of Metal Gear Solid 3, the original. So with how good that game is, it kind of already has a good head start against a lot of other competitors. Hell is Us. Yeah, this seemed like, okay, cool presentation. Seems like it's a lot of the stuff that they showed during this podcast, this state of play, was very surreal and kind of more artsy direction of how games go. This is not one of those games, but visually it looks kind of surrealist, and I guess that's the best way to put it. Almost like you're in a dream of some sorts, or in hell, I guess is basically where you are. But it just, the enemy types don't really seem particularly fun to fight against. I mean, because here, let me see. The inclusion of technology is some of the cool stuff I'm talking about while you're just wielding around a sword. Like I said, it seems to have some trippy stuff. But then you have glowing balls of orbs and white construct looking things. And what other interesting enemies was it shown? Because Onimusha was shown having demon things come out from portals and shit. At least had some cool amount of presentation to what kind of enemy types you're showing us. So it could be good. I could be eating my words, and it all comes across. We get some pretty diverse, cool looking enemies to fight, and the gameplay feels very weighty and fun to interact with. So we'll wait and see on that one. But I wouldn't say it's one of the highlights of it. Liza P DLC, that's really sick. Liza P deserves it. That game, I only played I want to say half of it, and I had to stop for other gaming reasons, but I that might make me go back to it just because of how good it is. And kind of I know I'm not on it right now, but the gameplay really lends itself kind of to that Bloodborne style where your combat's centered around weapons that have different forms to them. But moving on from that, this game, this is the one I want to see more gameplay of as well. That's the thing about these really short-term trailers that isn't the best way, in my opinion, to show off a game. I know it works for most people because you're just getting it all out there. It seriously serves an important function, but I like to see more meat on the bones of a game before I actually start, before I start really wanting to play it. Because it's one thing to look cool, as this game does, for example. I can't remember what the name is. It was, the name wasn't the best. Tides of Annihilation. Yeah, I mean, that sounds like a subtitle for something rather than a full title for a game. But see, this cool summoning stuff, for bosses, of course, as well. But let me go back to the summoning stuff. It's cool to have just, not entirely just based around, I got some big sword or some whip or some specialty type weapon where I just swing it around at enemies all and over and over and over again. But seeming like it's kind of based around, here's this ranged green summon, and the forward facing, he gets in front of you and pushes enemies away. Brute character, and the ice, I'm assuming he's dexterous character. That in combination with how these boss fights are going to play out, because they seem to go pretty crazy. I mean, like this one, I think it was one later where they were doing something insane. Yeah, this guy. But see, like, it has cool style. What was it? No, it was her. It was her. Yeah. And it seems like I'm just coming up with things off the top of my head. No. Yeah, it was her. Anyway, yeah, clearly a lot of these games are inspired by Dark Souls, and, that's a great thing, but they're always able to put their own spin on it, and this one seems to be doing that pretty well. This is definitely one to look forward to as well. And the narrative seems to be, a primary focus of that game, so hopefully that pays out as well. Ends up being pretty fun. Last thing I'll go on is, honestly, Sonic Racing Cross Worlds. I seriously don't know if there was gameplay shown beforehand. There probably was, but I'm a fan of the Mario Kart games, even though I don't really play them that much anymore. And it kind of already had that market locked down. I know there was Crash Racing, but it never got to the same heights as Mario Kart ever did. This seems like it has the potential for doing that, while also being one of those fun style racing games. Sonic as a character isn't my personal favorite. The overall franchise doesn't bother me that much, really at all. But that aside, this game just looks like a fun party game to play with friends and go in online matches and play against. And it's not tied to the Nintendo Switch, so it doesn't feel like I feel like I'm playing on more dedicated online consoles like the PlayStation 5 or PC, which I'm assuming this will probably be on. PC, no, PS5 and PS4. They're still being they're still holding a lot of their stuff down behind certain behind their platforms instead of going cross-platform. So they'll probably break on PC, as they typically tend to do. No Halo. I was told there might be Halo, but that information was clearly wrong. Okay, here we go. Now it's fucking up elsewhere. Oh, there we go. 5 Nights at Freddy's. Sure, they could make it work for general audiences. It's kind of attached to be as a joke, but maybe they'll lean into that a little bit, more. But it always has its fan base, so it'll do pretty good. I'm more in what's the what are their names? I always forget their names. I'm not actually that familiar with their Supermassive. I should know that. I'm not familiar with their games, to be quite honest. I don't even really know entirely what happens in Until Dawn, and that's the one almost everybody knows about because they watch playthroughs of that game. And this one, carries on that tradition. It seems like it's pretty grotesque, like body horror type stuff, and that always hits really, really well. So. I know what the enemies of the first game are, and it seems like they always do something new and special. And I know they did have the series of games come out. There was what was it called again? It was maybe it may have shared the subtitle with this. No, it didn't. Yeah. They were like the Dark Pictures anthology. Okay, so this is still part of that anthology, which, to my knowledge, one of them wasn't really good. One of them was pretty good. They don't really stick out in my mind when I try to remember them. But this, on the other hand, seems like, particularly with those body horror elements and running away from possibly characters that you screwed up with, and now you have to, now deal with them as the next enemy when you play as other characters. Because if you don't know, that's kind of how their games go. You could, you don't fight or anything like that. And usually you just have to hold your controller still or choose the right option of whether you're going left or right. It's kind of more an interactive game than a one where you have full control of the stuff. So it makes it a lot easier for basically anybody to play it, though. That's one of the benefits of it. Yeah, I guess the only other thing was this amazingly art-styled, action adventure game, action adventure horror game. The Burnt one? No. What's it called, man? That was good. They may have announced it here. Yeah, Greetings from Moonwood. The Midnight Walk. The Midnight Walk. Yes. Okay. Yeah, I mean, like watching after a little companion, that's a kind of gameplay element that might put some people off. I know in the past there's been characters like Ashley who get a lot of hate. There have been characters like, I'm definitely missing one somewhere, but that's the one that always peeks out into people's minds. Either way, companions, they can be hard to do. Playing with the computer in Resident Evil 5 when you're doing that co-op campaign. So, but as a game that seems like it's based around that, it seems like they'll probably end up, doing it justice. Probably have parts where you switch to the little lantern boy, but primarily fight as this guy who I was surprised. I didn't think it was going to be like a combat-oriented game, but it seems like it has some of that to some degree, while of course also having like, you got to close your eyes to solve puzzles and avoid other monsters, it seems. This art style alone deserves to be played, I believe. Moonhood. I wonder what else they've done. And then, of course, I guess I'll finish off on the last thing, which, unfortunately, I don't have experience with Returnal, but I am aware that game, I actually played it once, and it plays fairly well. And they'll probably be continuing that trend with this new game, Saros. Yeah, I wonder how they'll change it up. Because I know you go through the other one and you get power-ups. You know what, maybe I don't know anything about fucking Eternal enough to talk about it at least. So, we'll see how they diversify it from that game. But at least presentation-wise, it looks pretty cool. For at least to me. More of what carries the weight of it, just by this trailer alone, is Housemarque's title. And if you know their catalog, well, they're you could trust them on making this kind of game to work really well. This part in particular was the coolest presentation aspect of the game. Like, what kind of fucking things are you going to create? To be honest, the main body of it, it just seems kind of like it doesn't really inspire terror the same way those arms did coming out of the sea. It just seems like, big multi-arm thing. That was kind of disappointing in a way, but that's just... I never can tell if it's my own personal tastes getting in the way of stuff like that, and it just looks like cool to everybody else, but despite that, Saros does look like a title I probably will jump into maybe before Returnal, depending on whenever we get to that game, which we might do on one of our other things, the Game Club. Speaking of which, we do other things. I'm probably going to end the stream here pretty soon, and the recording. Sorry for a little bit of the hiccups in the beginning. Hopefully we'll be able to smooth out some of that stuff in editing, but I went above my weight class here in trying to stream and watch this at the same time and thinking that it was going to go smoothly. But of course, you work out those kinks. So maybe next time I certainly will do better on that front. But go listen to our main podcast. We can talk for hours on end. We end up breaking those out into their own separate videos that you can watch if you just want to know about the newest news in the video game industry, which is our bread and butter podcast, as I was saying. You can also go watch our Piggy Bank, where it's a bit more of a gamified podcast where me and Phil and Tavin, the other host of the TwoPennyGames show, Gamescast, come in and we just, shoot the shit, talk and do whatever. Also, we have, some shorts that you can go watch. One of them, we're talking about the golden age of gaming. And we've had a conversation in the full video that is also broken out of what exactly constitutes as an age. And we tried to do our best, what our interpretation of that is, and then decide from there which is the best age. I recommend going and watching those, either the shorts that are going to be subsequently coming out or just the main video, and give us your thoughts exactly what you think. If we're idiots, or if we're right on the money, what the best age is. I feel like we did a good job with it, but you're the one to tell us that. So, with that, I will be ending stream and ending recording. Have a great day, guys.